what?
Say
What?
Say what?
Hey lovelies, how are you doing today? This is another segment of Say What. Today's subject is going to be, I don't know, it's always a popular one, especially when it comes to relationships and infidelity, cheating. Now we have couples or thruples or where polygamy is a thing and it's an accepted thing. And we know that many cultures have adapted polygamy, and it looks like it is growing more and more prevalent in the United States more openly. I'll put it that way. So I came across two videos that sparked my interest regarding this. The first one is an author indicating that infidelity is just a thing that women need to get used to in relationships. And then I also have a response or a reaction from Waka Flocka of how cheating on his wife made her meaner, quote unquote, stronger. So let's get into this. First video, let's get into the author and what she has to say about it.
Let me just make this here. You say in your book, there is no history of the black man settling down with one woman,
Right.
and never desiring to have another. Before slavery, during slavery, or after slavery, the black man has never been recorded to have just one woman.
Right. Well, I think there's some actual facts we can look at on that. Monogamy has failed for the white man in America.
But this is like saying it's okay.
It's not me saying it's okay. This is how they're living. I'm giving you the history of what their life is. Black men haven't been waiting on me to tell them it's all right to have more than one woman. Neither have white men. You know, this is just what they do. I'm not talking about fornication and adultery. I'm not talking about one-night stands and running around rampant with other women. That's not the kinds of, when I say more than one woman relationship. I mean that before we came to America, our men had more than one wife and family. And we were satisfied with it because we had not met the monogamy idea. We had not met the American white woman who, you know, insists on certain kinds of values in her man. We had not learned envy and jealousy. All right, after coming here, those kinds of ideas were bred into us because of society and the mores that the Americans made up here. And so then we started to have problems with that. But I think that since it is apparent that most of them, not all of them, it's certainly up to the man, do love more than one woman. I got tons of mail. A lot of black men write and tell me that they have had two women for 5, 10, 15, and 20 years, and they can't even get the women to speak to each other. Sometimes they have two families.
Would I want to talk to a woman who's sharing perhaps the bed and then the money and the social life with who I would deem as my man?
If you want to deal in reality, and if you are not insecure, and if you don't think that that robs you of something, you would want to know them. If he loves her, you certainly should want to know her.
There are a lot of black women out there who say,
oh, I know they're mad about that idea. I understand, you know.
That would never hold water.
Wait a minute, that's not easy. And that's a frightening thought to most of us. And I don't like that. I'm not for that. I'm in agreement with everybody else. Our men ought to just have one woman. But that is not the reality. I'm trying to get us to deal with some reality for a change. Stop dealing with fantasy. Stop dealing with television. Stop dealing with imagination of how we wish things were. Let's deal with them how they are, what it is. Present tense.
Let me just make this here.
So this was a lot of information, a lot of heavy information in this conversation. I honestly am floored and don't really have a solid opinion on this, which is odd that I added this to a Say What, but I just find it interesting that women are said, hey, you must get used to this, you must settle to this. I feel like if it was the other way around, women wouldn't be granted the same freedom to be polygamous and to have multiple husbands and multiple partners. That's for starters. To continue on with this, I just feel like, I don't know, like, I just feel like if it's a choice, if the woman is okay with double partners, then okay, but I don't know too many women that would be okay with that. Just for she's saying long-term relationships, men is, being with two women for 20 years and the women need to learn how to coexist and I guess be friends. I just couldn't see myself being friends with someone that is sleeping with my husband and they have a whole nother family in there. And she said that's where, America introduced jealousy. No, America did not invent jealousy. Just because in other countries it was accepted to have more than one wife, it doesn't mean that the other wives weren't jealous and fighting and backbiting or whatever behind each other's back. It was cultural, so they thought this is what they needed to do, and so it was kind of like a forced friendship in a sense. I've watched the show Sister Wives, and it kind of gave me a taste of what a polygamous relationship is like. Like, yes, the women have, a relationship, but they still are fighting with the individual relationship that each of them have with the husband. So it's not this big kumbaya camaraderie, and women just being in a relationship with just you and the man that you still deal with your insecurities and you still deal with jealousy, but to be in a relationship and know that your man is with another woman, like, how can you have to be a certain kind of woman to be able to do that? Like, I'm not knocking it, to each his own. I just feel like putting the message out there that no man is faithful, and women, you just have to get used to this, especially black women, you have to get used to this because this is just the way it is. So basically it's kind of like spreading the message of black women, you must settle because you're not worth and honest, and you're not worth just having a man to yourself. That's what I got of it. Please leave a comment and let me know what you got out of this video. I would love to hear your comments on this. So moving forward, we have the second video, which angered me just a little bit more. It's Waka Flocka. If you're not familiar with Waka Flocka and his wife, which was his girlfriend at the time, they were on, I believe, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta first, and then now they have their own show or whatever, which I haven't seen, but this is a clip from their show that I saw on the on-site Instagram page. And pretty much during their relationship on Love and Hip Hop, Walker was on the road a lot and he was cheating on Tammy, and Tammy left him, and he eventually earned her forgiveness, and so they tied the knot and they have the show and whatever. So I don't really know what's going on with them and the couples therapist, because like I said, I don't watch the show, but I'm assuming that they're in this couple therapy session, and Waka is pretty much presenting how he feels his cheating has molded Tammy into a different person. So let's get into it, and then I'll give you my opinions afterwards.
Actually made her meaner. She had no idea what she was up against. It could have made her or broke her. Even if it would have broke her, I was still assisting on it. It made her even better than what I thought.
But you didn't do that.
You tried to make her process life the way you do.
All I did was help.
No, what you didn't. That's the thing. He thinks that he helped me by doing some of the evil or mean things he did to make me meaner. That didn't help me. What that did was add insecurities to me, and it made me not trust your judgment in certain. It made me not trust you in certain ways. It did not help me, but you didn't have to do that. Life would have done that.
It's to say that, because I actually say, hey, cheating made you better, but it actually made Tammy like a beast. Basically, like old Rose looking at her. I don't think nothing is more embarrassing than that.
Cheating ain't make me stronger. Beating his ass made me stronger.
Actually made her
I'm honestly not going to sit here and act like this clip didn't piss me off, because it did on so many levels. Level one, for him to say that his infidelity made her a better person angered me. It just like Tammy said, life would have done that. Life would have toughened me up. I do agree. It's like, I don't need you to speed up the process by disrespecting me. He feels like it made her meaner. No, it made her smarter not to let her guards down completely, with this guy, because clearly this guy has no self-control, but to say, my mess up made you better. So it kind of validates what he did, like, oh well, yeah, it was wrong, but look at the person that it molded you into. And that's just a bunch of bullcrap to me. Second level is when he actually admitted nothing's more embarrassing than everyone knowing you got cheated on. Yes, the whole world watched Love and Hip Hop of Atlanta. Like, this is a well-known show. Everyone knows who he is. Everyone knows who she is, at least people that watch the show, and it's like, this was very embarrassing for her. So you're saying that you made her stronger because you pretty much naturally embarrassed this young lady? Like, what? I feel like that is still another level of validation. Yeah, well, it just made her better. It made her meaner. And although Tammy was trying to defend herself, I feel like he wasn't even listening to her rationale. And it did make her stronger. It did make her put up more guards. It did make her step it up as far as stipulations and boundaries. It did make her do that, because I was watching Love and Hip Hop during that time, and she was upset and she was sad, but she didn't just let him back in the door. Like, she set boundaries. She made him pretty much crawl and beg for it. And maybe at first she was soft and she let a lot of stuff slide, even knowing that he was, doing mean things or, cheating on her. Made it seem like, oh, okay, well, I know this is going on, but I'm not going to confront him. But when she actually found out, it opened something up inside of her. And I still don't think that she deserved to be publicly humiliated in order for her to be quote unquote meaner, and I feel like it's more of a slap in the face when you say, hey, I did you dirt, but look at the person that I made you into. No, I agree with her. Life has a way of making you stronger and equipping you and growing you up in certain aspects. And I feel like you don't get to justify your terrible actions into saying, well, it made you a better person. No, you don't get to justify that. I feel like in his mind, that is a way that he can justify what he did. And I feel like if you're searching for justification, are you thinking of doing this again? Or did you think a certain way about me before the action? Did you think that I was soft? Did you think that you can run all over me? And now that you've done this thing and I'm not allowing you to run over me anymore, then now you love me more because this is the type of woman that you want to be in the first place. That's just how I feel where he was at this point. Like, it seems like he's in love more with this strong boundary setting Tammy than he was with her softer side. Yet and still, this is something you could have communicated to her versus publicly humiliating her and then saying again on national television, well, look what I did, guys. This is the recipe to toughen up your girl if you want. I just kind of feel like the message it perpetuates is bullcrap. And I wanted to share this because just to tie it into the other video where the author is saying, well, I think that women should just get used to this, and men, men can cheat, men are gonna cheat, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And then you have this man who did cheat say, hey, I made her a better woman. So it's like, okay, we need to adapt and get meaner. Is that if you tie them in together, it's still saying, hey, accept it. It's still somehow eliminating fault on the man and just putting it on the woman. Just so many times where I've heard that a woman got cheated on and she got blamed for it. Oh, well, if you would have kept up with your weight, not gained weight, maybe he would have did this. Or if you might have kept cooking, or maybe if you weren't so busy in your business and paying more attention to your husband. Nothing to me warrants a person stepping out. If we can't sit and talk about this, if it's something bothering you, because cheating is a symptom, right? So if you can't sit and address me and say, hey, I don't like this is bothering me, can you spend more time with me? I mean, give somebody the option to change. And if it's that bad and it's just making you that miserable, leave her and then pursue whatever dating regimen that you want. But if you're doing it at the expense of hurting someone's feelings or breaking someone's spirits, that's bullcrap. And then she's supposed to accept it at the end? No. So that video totally rubbed me the wrong way. So what are your thoughts on this? Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments, and like and subscribe if you like this video. And until next time, be your own kind.